What is going on? How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a good day so far. Hope everybody's had a good week so far at that. But BYU just got some absolutely massive news, which we're going to talk about in just a second. And that is about linebacker from Cal, Cade Uluave. So, I know a lot of BYU fans were heavily in on Cade, and a lot of teams in general were. Like, there were a lot of teams. He had a massive market in the transfer portal. He's one of the top linebackers in the transfer portal, really one of the top players in the transfer portal. Now, he is from Mountain Ridge High School in Utah. He is from Utah, obviously, like I said. So that makes it a prime destination. I do believe there was some word about maybe he did visit BYU. I'm not sure if that is true or not, but I mean, it seemed like it was all Michigan for a little bit. It seemed like Cade was headed to Michigan, going with Kyle Whittingham. Things changed last minute. So I don't really know what happened over at Michigan. But I do know BYU were making a huge push for him. And I think they still are till this minute. Because it's a battle like right down to this minute. When you're watching this, I don't know what's going on in this situation. He could be committed to BYU by the time you're watching this. He could be committed to Michigan by the time you're watching this. He could be at Cal again. We don't know. You know, Cade Uluave, I'm sorry. You know, if you look at BYU's depth chart, he's going to fit straight in. This is a true playmaker, true, really defensive game changer. Like, this is a guy who you could plug into your defense, and he's going to fit right in, and he's going to make this defense better just alone. You know, he's that good of a tackler. He's that good of a player in general. Big time playmaker. I do want to go over some of his numbers. So he does have 1 year of eligibility left if you are able to bring him in. This is a guy who's going to be playing pro football. 100% going to be playing pro football. Probably going to be a pretty high draft pick if I had to say so. BYU would be thrilled to get him. If you're a BYU fan, you have to be absolutely thrilled that you're even in the running for this. As of right now, you're trending towards getting him. Not saying it's going to happen, but you're trending towards getting him. Now, like I said, do want to get into some numbers. So his career numbers, 237 tackles, 21 and a half tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 3 interceptions, 11 pass breakups. Now, if we're looking at just 2025, he led Cal with 97 tackles, 42 of those being solo tackles, 12 tackles for losses, 3 sacks, 6 pass breakups, and he ranked high in tackles per game in the ACC. I think he was one of the top in tackles per game in the ACC. He's a former Pac-12 Defensive Freshman of the Year back when Cal was in the Pac-12. You know, he's 2025 first team All ACC with multiple weekly honors through the season. He's a consistent tackling machine, high level playmaking ability. You know, he has the experience. Like I said, he's been there 3 years now, and he's a true leader. He's a true leader, and that's what you want in a linebacker. And I think that's what you want on this BYU defense as well. You know, this BYU defense is pretty good. You do lose Jay Hill. If you could bring in Cade Uluave, I wouldn't be so mad about it. Wouldn't be so mad about it. I know you're going to miss Jay Hill. It does suck that he is heading elsewhere. But, man, if you could bring in Cade Uluave. I'm sorry, I keep messing up his last name. But, like, if you do look, there's this big Twitter page or X page that it is pretty much covering all things transfer portal. And, I mean, it is right here. He's predicted to head to BYU now. And this is last minute changes. Like I said, he was heavily favored towards Michigan. Don't really know what happened there. Like, obviously some things went down. I heard that he couldn't really enroll in that school. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. But if you could go out and land a man, that is absolutely massive. That is massive. Like I said, if you just look at his numbers, they're outstanding. I think, yeah, if you do look right here, there was a logged expert prediction for him to land at Michigan, which they've been pretty accurate. I do know that you did miss out on Texas linebackers, so that does give you a little bit of worrisome where Cade is predicted to BYU, and you didn't really get the last linebacker that was predicted to you. But man, if you can land him, that makes up for everything that you already lost. And speaking of that, BYU just made some other portal pickups, which I'll also have a video coming out about, like really describing those guys more. But this one is just like an emergency video because this is massive news, and I think BYU fans need to be. I think this needs to be known to BYU fans that this is something to monitor because this is game changing for next year. Absolutely game changing. If just go watch some of his tape, this kid is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Now, like I said, I think BYU is currently making a massive push for him, as well as maybe Michigan probably. I know Texas brought him in on a visit, so you're probably competing with them as well. But man, I'm really hoping he lands at BYU. I absolutely love the fit. Him being from Utah, him being familiar with the area, probably being familiar with the school. It's going to be a battle down to the end. But right now, you're trending towards him. You're trending towards landing him. And like just a few days ago, I know someone even asked me in the comments if he was a possibility for BYU. Didn't seem that way. Did not seem that way. Seemed like he was out of the race. Like I said, seemed like he was heading to Michigan 100%. If it wasn't Michigan, it was Texas. And I believe that him returning to Cal is probably still on the table as well. But I think BYU's making a big push. I think BYU is making a massive push to land him right here. That's going to fill some voids at linebacker. This is going to upgrade your defense immediately. You have a lot of returning players, which I have a video coming out about as well. This is massive. This is absolutely huge. And I just wanted to come on here and make you guys aware of that. So if you did enjoy this video, I know it wasn't too in-depth. Just wanted to kind of throw out some numbers and make you aware of this. If you did enjoy this, I greatly appreciate if you guys did consider subscribing to the channel. You guys, BYU fans, you have shown me absolutely massive amounts of support, and I greatly appreciate that. So a lot more BYU content coming. One of my favorite teams to cover, actually, probably my favorite team to cover. BYU and Penn State are like my two favorite teams to cover. So yeah, a lot of BYU content coming. Going to be updates as we hear more about this situation and others in the portal as well, because I still don't think BYU is done. I think Kalani Sitake and the staff, they might just be getting started. I don't know. So yeah, that'll be it for this one. Greatly appreciate you guys, and catch you guys on the next one. Peace.